Gen Z thinks that exercising is racist, apparently.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we look at 3 women campaigning for the fat community. Who asked? Literally nobody, not even fat people. Now, somehow, each of these people is worse than the last, so make sure to watch till the end for maximum brain damage. Now, 3 months ago, if you watch my channel, you may remember there's this woman who is claiming that, exercising is
Exercising is racist now. I mean, I'm sure she's saying that with a wholehearted heart, you know. I'm sure she's not being a little bit sarcastic whatsoever, right? She certainly looks like she's genuine about it.
racist. You know, the old, that's racist. I made a video on that because I thought it was ridiculous. But ladies and gentlemen, today we have another contender.
Just doing it for views and clicks, though, obviously. Or he isn't attracted to bigger girls like how some people aren't attracted to smaller girls. Everyone is entitled to their own preferences. Okay.
Now, this is probably the most infuriating person you'll ever see because she talks to you like you're a preschooler. She's basically saying that if you don't date fat people, you're automatically racist.
Oh, right. I see. So it's moved on to that stage because previously, before that point, I thought it was you're transphobic, right? If you're not interested in dating a biological man who identifies as a woman. So now we're doing the fat thing. What's the next one after that then?
That preferences don't exist, all while being extremely condescending, which makes it super annoying. Somebody commented saying he isn't attracted to bigger girls, like how some people aren't attracted to smaller girls. Everyone is entitled to their own preferences. And this comment made this lady go berserk.
Hey, bestie! You're wrong.
Alright, video just started, but I guess I'm wrong.
She makes a good point. You can't argue with "you're wrong."
I can smell the passive aggressiveness coming off her.
I think it's time for another adult pre-K lesson. What do you think? All right, turn your listening ears on. Zoop, catch a bubble in your mouth. Good job.
That's scary. Those are scary eyes, man. That is a pissed off girl. Oh boy. If you have a girlfriend that looks like that, you better run, or at least give her a day or two to cool off.
Oh, she makes me feel so small! In all my years of schooling, I don't think I've ever been this annoyed at somebody. How do you be so blatantly obnoxious, like catch a bubble in your mouth? Guess we're all preschoolers, man.
Okay, here's the thing. Having a preference is something like, I'm looking for a partner who likes kayaking or wakes up early.
No, not really. Everyone is naturally, instinctually attracted to whatever they are. So this is a bizarre argument to go. When it starts going into hobbies, it's like, oh, I like the color blue. I like the color red. It's just like, are you going down to that level of detail? It's not that complicated. I've been attracted to both in the past, bigger girls and smaller girls, but I'm entitled to be attracted to whatever I like to be. And if the other, person interested finds out about that, they can't sort of complain per se because it's just my natural instinct.
In the morning, or loves pizza. But when your preferences exclude an entire group of marginalized people,
Uh-oh, there it is. There it is. Victim.
problematic.
Ah yes, the marginalized people, fat people. The most oppressed group in history, right? Well, for majority of people, being fat is a choice, like, unless you have a serious health problem. And usually when you're a marginalized group, you don't really have the choice to be non-marginalized, whereas fat people do.
That's a really good point. That is such a good point there. It's so true. It's like, this is the dumbest marginalized group in the existence of all marginalized groups. Like, your skin color, etc. Unless you're Michael Jackson, you're not really going to change your skin color. So there's obviously a much more of a marginalized group there in that regard. But when it's literally body fat that you can actually actively get rid of through just eating less and exercising more, and I'm sure there's people out there that no matter what, they always put on body fat. But let's be realistic. It's going to be like 5% of the population. And the other 95% can 100% change their body if they choose and actually do it.
Everybody wants to be a victim. We're really in that stage.
Okay, that's not nice. That's not a preference. If you lump all fat people in one group together as though they are not very different individuals,
She is so angry.
that's fatphobic. Just like lumping all black people.
Fatphobic, we've got the word. That's when you know they mean business, when they pull out the F word. Now, I'm not an expert on this topic. I wouldn't really know what the definition of fatphobic is, but I would assume it's, my guy ate too many donuts. I don't like him.
People in one group and saying, I don't like black people is racist.
Yep, she just went there. She's comparing fat to racism now.
And lumping all disabled people in one group and saying, I don't think people in wheelchairs are hot is ableist. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No. There's attractive, like, disabled people, and there's disabled people that aren't attractive. So if you found one that wasn't attractive, and you said, I don't find her attractive, or if you're a girl and you're into a guy, or even if you're a girl into a girl, a guy and a guy, whatever, I don't find him or her attractive. That doesn't mean you just explicitly say that everyone of that group, of that type, is now completely like, I have nothing I want to do with them whatsoever. Like, I absolutely hate them all. Like, it's so ridiculous. She is grasping at straws to get some sort of sense of reality, and she's not going to find it. Not with those crazy eyes.
No, I...
Yeah, there you go. Witty phobic. So if someone doesn't like my videos or doesn't like my Twitch channel, do I say, oh, you're witty phobic? No. That's a really good point right there. You're just someone that obviously doesn't enjoy the content. Have a nice day, and I hope you do well, and just take care. Go elsewhere and enjoy content there. Who knows? I'm not going to get mad at it.
I don't understand what you're saying. Why does she talk like that? It's so annoying. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, even if you were right in some bizarre world, nobody would listen to you regardless because you talk like I'm 5 years old. You talk like you're Albert Einstein and we're all just dummy-dums. You know what? That's it. 1v1 me. Boxing match. I challenge you. KSI fights Logan Paul. I fight,
She might win, though, to be honest. So I'll be careful if you're really going to do this.
TikToker. So let's just get a few things straight, right? You can't compare fat-phobic oppression, whatever the hell that is, I don't know, struggling to get the TV remote, to actual racism. Like, what are you talking about? Listen, I don't like to use this word, but you privileged little prince. Did I say little? That was unintentional,
Yep,
sorry.
that's it. That's fat-phobic. In fact, that's skinny-phobic, maybe, to say little princess. Yeah. Skinny phobic. So if fat phobic exists, then does skinny phobic exist? What about normal phobic? Someone that's like a medium weight that isn't fat or skinny.
Wonderful world we live in. I get to make the greatest content. Alright, we got contestant number 2. This woman is a little bit upset that she got kicked out of a gym. In fact, she's so upset that she's broken down crying in her car. Basically, she violated the dress code for the gym, which is just a general rule. And so they kicked her out, but she's just like, no, it's because I'm fat, because everything revolves around me.
And the lady at the front desk said that
She doesn't look fat.
they have a policy you're not allowed to wear sports
She looks
bras.
normal.
I love how starting the TikTok, she's already crying. Gotta get those sympathy points as quick as possible.
You can't be showing your belly. She said, it's fine for this time, but just so you know for next time. For reference, this is my shirt.
Sure, she's a little
Okay,
tubby,
so
but
it was, okay, I get it.
So I was like, okay, that's fine. I went to do my workout. I'm 15 minutes in on the treadmill. And the program coordinator for the gym came up to me and asked me to leave.
it's probably the hardest things I've ever had to do, dealing with apology when I don't mean it. So someone came up and asked her to leave because she had her belly sticking out a little bit? I don't know, I believe that.
I went to do my workout. I'm 15 minutes in on the treadmill. And the program coordinator for the gym came up to me and asked me to leave.
Dude,
I don't know
I
if
can't
that adds up.
imagine how easy your life must be to cry over this.
I'm so embarrassed.
But they didn't kick you out because you're fat. It's because of the dress code. It's just a general rule that people have to follow. Absolutely nobody cares that you're fat. Don't take it so personally. Come on.
Well, that's the victim part kicking in.
Okay, so here we have the tags she posted on her TikTok. I don't even know why I'm even posting this. Hashtag fat shaming.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All those hashtags.
Weight loss, hashtag weight loss dirty, hashtag body image.
Yep, she's got an agenda.
Body positivity, hashtag weight loss TikTok, hashtag weight loss for women, hashtag for you page. I love how TikTok says original sound Shelby. The sound of a grown woman crying. What?
So
The fact that she went to the effort of putting all those hashtags on it means she isn't really upset. Upset. Like, sure, she might be upset, but she's not upset enough where it's a natural level of upset where that video just goes up and she's just walking away. No, she's got an agenda. The moment you put any of those sort of hashtags in there, she knows what she's doing. I said this before in that Johnny video where he harassed that female streamer. Now, he was an asshole for doing it. He is an asshole, obviously. But she was also... She didn't deserve to get harassed because she didn't do anything to provoke him, so she wasn't in the wrong in that regard. But she made out as if she's been massively victimized and she's crying to the camera, but making sure that it's looking at her tits as well at the same time. And as soon as you do that, like, I could see that was an obvious choice. It wasn't just like a casual, accidental, oh, the camera's just like gone in the position where it can see both her cleavage and her head. She actively moved the camera to look at her cleavage while she was making a point about being victimized. I was just like... At that point, are you really victimized? Are you really that upset? I feel like your brain is like maybe emotionally upset, but the other part of your brain that's thinking, oh, I can make money from this. Now, as soon as that part kicks in and I can see that part kicking in you, I already know that you're now being disingenuous. And now I have a lot less sympathy for you.
Yes, if you work out strictly for appearance-based reasons, you are fat phobic.
Contestant number 3, how nice of you to join us. So if
Welcome.
I just want to look in the mirror and feel good about myself, I'm fat phobic. What?
I think what's most scary is comments like these because people don't realize that fat phobia is rooted in racism and more specifically anti-black.
What? Honestly,
Uh-oh.
where do you come up with these crazy theories? There's fat and then anti-black? What? I know I say this a lot, but somehow Gen Z has found a way to make everything racist. Like, it's a talent at this point.
You know, fatness is not specific to black people, and we've used that as an excuse to shape
She kind of looks like Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse with those weird ears. Like the Princess Leia hair.
a societal beauty standard that is anti-fat.
Okay, this is probably the only point that I could maybe agree with in this entire video. Societal beauty standards suck. Okay, not everybody's gonna look like Jungle Kook from BTS. Instagram and all these social media platforms have given us the wrong impression of what people actually look like. Sure, more beauty standards should be accepted, but does this mean that people are fat phobic? No. It just means that everybody wants to be a 10 out of 10.
That includes being thin. That includes gaining muscle so you can look toned and have less fat on your body.
Having less fat on your body in general is a good thing. Having muscles in general is a really good thing. You can pick up your water bottle easier, go to school with your bags less heavy feeling. It's not only for beauty.
It's not wrong. Got some PTSD the moment I saw that image. When I went to school on my first day, I had like a duffel bag because my parents thought that would be a good idea. It wasn't a backpack. It was a fucking like gym bag, like massive. Like I can't get the webcam to go back far enough to demonstrate just how big this thing was, but it's basically like the size of me when I was in school. So it's probably about 4 to 5 foot or something like that. Like what were they thinking giving me that bag, honest to God?
Beauty standard. It's also to survive. I remember I used to eat a Kit Kat and a packet of chips every single day for 5 years. That was literally my afternoon snack every day after school. Then I realized I'd probably die at 30, so I stopped and switched to like Toblerone. But yeah, besides the point, you're still cuckoo.
And what happens if you don't meet the standard of beauty? You will face
Systemic racism? Is that the next word that's coming in? It's just these buzzwords. I do feel sorry for a lot of Gen Z, and then possibly the next generation after that, because if this becomes normalized where everyone is getting used to being a victim, the next generation is going to grow up thinking that's normal. Like, as someone that's on the outside who's being put up with, like, you know, being bullied and stuff and grown up in harder times, like legitimately harder times because I'm fucking older. Like, you don't... It's so weird to sort of call yourself a victim at every single... That's when you know... It's the fakeness, isn't it? It's just like disingenuous. You're not a victim. You don't even have an idea of what it's like to be a victim. You're living in such a perfect,
Hey,
easy
love,
world
any
where
chance
you
you
just
will play
claim
Survival
everything as a
Chaos again?
victim. Everything that happens to you is something that has victimized you. Like, if that's the world you're living in, you've never really fucking lived even a moment of like strife in your life, have you? Judge Light, thank you very much there. Survival Chaos again. Oh, I don't know. That's like a free-for-all map. So yeah, people watching them while they're eating in a restaurant. It's so weird. Like, why is this a thing that's even on the list? People checking out the contents of their cart in the supermarket, fat jokes on TV, friends asking, do I look fat? Being prescribed weight loss for every it's for medical. Why? Every hard. Is she serious? It's like a parody list. Harder time finding work and getting paid the same as thin people? Wait, so we got the gender, well, you know, the male-female sort of differences in pay gaps, supposedly. And now we've got thin versus fat people get paid differently? I didn't know this. I don't remember that at work. Shopping in a special section of a store for a limited selection of clothes. Oh my gosh.
Oppression.
All right, we gotta check out this
Oh, it's
oppression
oppression.
here. I want you guys to read this and compare this to racism, right? Actual racism. People watching them while eating in a restaurant. Oh, dear lord, you're a celebrity. People checking out the contents of their cart in the supermarket. Oh my god. Fat jokes on TV. Are you telling me you never laughed at a fat joke? Come on, we all know you're pretending to be righteous, but that
Yes. Yes, I have. I saw, what was that film? The guy all keeps saying, oh, yeah, you're all right. You're all right. He did his own sort of quirky film where he's like a diving guy and he's stays with his son in a university. Does anyone remember that film? But there's a joke right at the start. Is it Al? Oh, it's not Al Bundy. It's not that one. It's a different comedian who's since passed. He's got the googly eyes and he was in The Simpsons at one point as a character. But he was basically, oh my gosh, I need to find this. I need to find this. What is it called? What is it called? Oh, I wish I had it on the top of my head. Does anyone know? I said it about 4 months ago when I was playing Medieval Dynasty. God, what was that? What was it? You're the kind of person that when they get given the menu at a restaurant, you'll say, yes, basically. So you don't sort of say like, oh, I'll have this, I'll have that. I'll just have everything. It's so funny.
that's a little too far. Being prescribed
Rodney
weight
Dangerfield, that sounds like it. Oh, gosh. Okay, I got to find this up now. It's fucking hilarious. Rodney that's the guy. Okay, so we've got Rodney Dangerfield. Now let's go IMDb. Now let's look up his movies. Back to School. That's the one. Back to School. So, Rodney Dangerfield. This is worth the tangent. Back to School. YouTube clip restaurant. Ad intro. See if I can find it. Here we go. This is worth the detour.
Hi there. Are you a large person, pleasantly plump, a little on a hefty
So you don't only need to see the start of this bit. It's just like the joke here.
Hi there. Are you a large person, pleasantly plump, a little on a hefty side perhaps? Well, let's face it. Are you fat? When you go jogging, do you leave potholes? When you make love, do you have to give directions? At the zoo, do elephants throw you peanuts? Do you look at a menu and say, okay? Well, now you can eat all you want.
Oh god, I laugh so much with these. Oh my god, that's so good.
You peanuts? Do you look at a menu and say, okay?
You look at a menu and say okay. It's just not like a specific thing. It's funny. It's fucking funny. If you don't find that funny, you just go, oh my god, I can't believe that Rodney. He's so fat phobic. Like you got such a weird, easy life if you think that's like a true sort of harsh insult. Yeah.
loss for every medical problems. Here's a thought, maybe all your medical problems are caused by your weight. You think doctors are stupid? You think they studied in school for 10 years just to mess with you? Harder time finding work and getting paid the same as thin people. I don't think I've ever ever seen an employer be like, oh yes, this person is thin, 25% raise. Shopping in a
I
special
wish.
section of a store for a limited selection of clothes. You know what all these problems have in common? You can change it. Exercise, eat better, boom. Literally all your oppression
Who would've
gone.
thought?
You can't really do that with actual racism.
So yes, if you work out strictly for appearance-based reasons, you are fat phobic. Before you comment, read the
What? So she's basically saying that anyone that basically exercises to look better hates fat people. How about you just want to be healthier and sort of feel good in the skin that you're sort of like wearing, you know? In like the fat that you're wearing, less of it. Like, what's wrong with that? It's so bizarre. Like, we're getting to such a bizarre stage now where anything and everything should be accepted. And if you even dare to say it's wrong in any way, shape, or form, even if medically and scientifically it is wrong, because it's actually dangerous to your health and the economy, because more fat people equals more stress on the, you know, the health system, which means more prices go up for everyone else, longer waiting times. It actually affects people for real. And you're like a monster for pointing some of this stuff out. Like, what kind of world are we going to live in? What about someone that like never likes to be looked at? So if someone looks you in the eyes, you go, oh my God, I can't believe you just looked me in the eyes. I feel so victimized. I feel so oppressed. You looking in my eyes and judging me. You're not allowed to look me in the eyes. Like, what world are we going to be in where you can't even like look at people? It's so fucking weird. Yeah, really funny video. Good video here from Pegasus. We'll probably check out more of his clips. And what do you think about the Gen Z? I think millennials are just as bad as Gen Z in some way, man. I feel so sorry for the next generation and the one after that. We need to have some sort of fight back, because if people keep getting away with this, what kind of world is this going to be that we live in? Do you see what I mean? It's not going to be a good